problems of a hospital are not the problems of a school, are not the problems of a stadium. If you're not taking into account the unique culture of every organization that you're working with, you're missing a huge portion of how to develop better process for that organization. There are no blanket solutions to crisis issues, whether it's active shooter or sexual harassment or bullying. You have to understand the culture of that organization to develop meaningful policy. We learned this in a very unique way with a Native American tribe in Northern California. As we were running red ball drills at a behavioral health clinic, we were in discussions with the receptionist there. And the ball came out and she had received the memo saying, hey, red ball means that you're about to have a conversation about a crisis event. And immediately when she saw the ball, she goes, hey, just so you know, we had an active shooter event a couple weeks ago and it really traumatized me. It was very upsetting. And immediately as a moderator, I said, that is not a problem. Would you like to not participate? We can not do this at all. And she goes, no, I just wanted you to know that. I want to participate, but just in case you were going to pull out a fake weapon or do something shocking. And I said, the whole point of the red ball drills is that we're not here at all to instill fear. Fear is not conducive to learning. We're here to ask you, to talk to you about process. And she goes, okay, that sounds great. So we started talking through it. And in fact, the scenario for her was an armed individual walks into the lobby of the behavioral health clinic. Go. And she immediately says, okay, let me think through this. And we spent 30 minutes talking about the process of what she would do. And she goes, God, I wish I had this conversation before it actually happened 2 weeks ago. And as we started talking, I said, do you have any codes that you use to announce an emergency threat? And she immediately says, well, yes, there's a code that we use to let everybody know that there's a threat. And I go, what do you say? She goes, we call out a General Custer. And I go, you call General Custer on the PA? She goes, she does, and everybody hears it. I go, that's genius. And where I had thought codes aren't necessarily useful, I realized in this case, for this organizational culture, it made total sense. That is what got people to pay attention the most. And as we discussed it, we started talking about the incident that she was involved in. And she goes, the problem in a Native American community is that active shooter was Native American. And where most policies would say, call police and police will come and they'll handle it and take that person away, these tribal members are family. So it's not as easy as just calling police to take them away. We don't want that to happen. Plus, our relationship with local police is not a positive one. So we have a history with local police about anti-Native American actions. So most people are actually not going to call 911. The very idea that somebody wouldn't call 911 for that reason had never really occurred to me before. So we had to design process that was conducive to the needs of this unique situation with the Native American tribe in Northern California. And the idea that you couldn't just treat an active shooter as somebody you didn't know, but they were in fact family, was an entirely different element of process that we had to deal with. And as we worked through different tribal buildings, we took that information, were able to apply it as we developed process, because the problems of that behavioral health clinic were not the problems of the tribal administration building, were not the problems of the casino at this particular place. So the red ball drills allow for that deep dive into organizational culture so that we develop process that's more meaningful to the client.